Hello, my name is Abigail, and I would like to spend a couple of minutes trying to explain my game Hoarders that I designed to you. Now, in this game, you play as a dragon that is just now coming out of its lair for the first time. It is very excited to explore the world and try to discover themselves. So when you play the game, you begin by setting up your board, as well as taking, for a 3-player game, 5 task cards. The task cards look like this. They will have colored splotches on them in the future, but for right now, they are a perfect image of your board, but they have letters on them to represent the different resources available. Now I look at these 5 cards, and I pick 4 of them to complete, and I put the last one back into the pile. Now out of these 4 cards, I pick the order I want to complete them in, and I try to remember what kinds of resources are on them. The first card I place face up, and the rest of them I place face down next to me. I also pick a personality card out of 7. These personality cards give you special abilities when playing the game. Now, the goal of the game is to complete all 4 of these task cards before your opponents do. The first card remains visible, but then the rest of them remain secret until the one before them is completed. Now, in the game, there are 6 spaces. There are 7 personality cards, 25 task cards, 66 territory tiles, as well as a bunch of corresponding resources. For the chest tile, it yields a gold. For the water tile, it yields a fish. For the village tile, it yields a person. For the farm tile, it yields a wheat. And for the pasture tile, it yields a sheep. Now, on your turn, there are 3 actions that you can choose from. And following one of those 3 actions, you may choose to do a special action called a secret layer card using cards that you have stacked up in your hand. The first action that you may choose to do is called Discover, and that is when you discover land in your territory. Now, when you're discovering land, you can choose how far you fly, so you can choose to keep both, one, or none of these resources, and what you do with them instead is put them into your secret layer tiles. Now, if you choose to keep them, you place them next to each other in your territory, and the corresponding resource is immediately placed on them. The second action that you can choose to do on your turn is to hoard, where you take the resources within your territory and place them into your lair. Once a resource has been placed in your lair, it cannot be removed and is therefore safe from all attacks. The third action that you can choose to do on your turn is called Replenish. This is what you do when you have no resources left to choose from. Once you've chosen one of these 3 actions to complete, you may then choose to use your secret layer cards. There are 4 different actions that you can choose to do with these, 3 of which are attacks, one of them, is a defense. The first action, you take 3 tiles, put them into the center, and you can steal 2 resources from any board, even your own. This is useful when you have chosen to discover or replenish, because you can't take resources normally on those turns. So I'm going to take a sheep from this opponent, and I'm going to take their fish as well. Now, the second action that I can choose to do on my turn is called a famine. This requires 2 wheats. You put those into the middle, and all wheats on all of the boards get placed from their territory and back into the middle. The third attack action that you can do is called Flood. This requires a water token that is placed into the middle, and you can choose an opponent to flood. My opponent chooses me, and this resource, if all of these were taken, all of these resources would be placed back into the middle. The fish is not, because fish can swim in water, so they don't have to worry. The final action you can take is a defense action. It requires the chest tile and the chest tile only. You use this whenever an opponent tries to steal a resource from within your land. You would bribe them to leave you alone, and then you are safe, and their pillage action or personality task action is over. The final thing that you can do on your turn, whenever you are hoarding, you may take 2 golds that you are not hoarding Put them into the middle and take any resource of your choice and place it into your lair. When using any personality action, you can use it once per turn, and any resources collected this way are placed immediately into your lair. The same as when you pillage, all resources are placed directly into your lair. There you have it. That's how you play Hoarders. Remember, you are competing to try and complete your task cards before your opponents. And you are doing this by discovering territory and collecting the resources you need. I hope you think it's interesting. Bye.